Every day my position on Leviathan is shuffling. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Leviathan was released yesterday, and it has been met with a lot of scorn and upset by a lot of different people. A lot of frustrated folks out there, a lot of people frustrated with those frustrated folks, a lot of people who are frustrated with the frustrated folks. And we can just this endless, crazy cycle loop, and we're going to look at that a little bit. And then I'm going to show you some of my gameplay with both my 5-star Leviathan and my 7-star. Show you guys how you can actually win. It's not a fleet that is just going to be devoid of any value, though I know that it's being billed as that. So let's jump into thanking my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your support. Truly appreciate every single one of you. Even you. Madness. And guys, if you want to support this channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algo, folks. Algo and mount the algo is what we can say. It's real fun. All right, let's go to the Let's go to the community reaction. So that I just scrolled through Reddit. These are just like the titles of a few of the posts. And not trying to out anyone. People are frustrated. You guys can pause and look at them, but they're not happy. It's not meta defining. It's not a good ship. People are just frustrated. I'm not saying that I think it's not meta defining. To be clear, guys, I think it's too early to be able to tell that, frankly, and we'll get into that. But people, lots of upvotes. And people are angry. That's what happens. That is just how it goes. You learn to expect it. So there's a few different factors going on here. People are disappointed. And then there's a couple different things. Number one, the perceived power levels. They think that Leviathan should be stronger than it is. I mean, sometimes people think it should be weaker, depending on which situation it is. But in this case, I think it's safe to say they think that it should be stronger. And there's also quite a few bugs in the event. And this is all fairly common. In fact, here, let me take you just real fast. I'll show you. I want to show you guys this, my favorite bug ever. All right, this is truly amazing. So we've mostly this is in the unlock event, and so you can actually with Mark 6, you know how it can insta kill one ship. You can actually just target the enemy capital ship here. Look at this. Yeah, there we go. So I found it. You use a basic, and it's gone. It's just gone. And then my favorite part of this, guys, this is so good. So we're about to win this anyway. We're gonna, you can just hit auto for this. But look at this. There's the Revan's gonna go take over the ship. Or the empty space that the ship occupied. Oh my lord. Just makes me laugh. So, yeah, you can see, if I turn my face off, you guys can see I took screenshots of it too. It's a healthy ship, it's being disintegrated because it's on a hollow table, and then it's gone. Yeah, it's one of the more entertaining bugs. It's cute, And honestly, for a big release like this, it's not surprising. We have gotten this every major release for a while, kind of. I mean, every once in a while, they'll have a release that they don't have any bugs in, and we'll all conveniently forget to give them credit for that. I mean, I do it too. At the same time, I'm not saying that, like, this is embarrassing for them. They should be fixing this. That what it feels like, guys, because this particular thing especially, I mean, it feels like you're married to someone who won't do the dishes. It's like, are you really gonna leave them just for not doing the dishes? I mean, maybe if there's somehow it's egregious enough on some levels, but it's like you've known about it for a while. It's not like you're just like, oh my gosh, really? You're not gonna do the dishes? Oh my goodness, this is shocking. Like, the CG, guys. Of course they're gonna have fails. Of course, when they do fix it, when they're like, hey, here's the way we fixed it, we'll be like, oh my gosh, changing the text to match the actual ability, like what it's actually doing? How lazy. I mean, we're just gonna be sarcastic, but that's how it works. It's like, hey, CG, can you please fix this? Oh, you fixed it in like a really good way? Well, that was terrible. Screw you, CG. That's just how it works, you know. Alright, there's a lot going on this slide, guys. I probably should have broken it into 2 slides. So, the perceived power levels is another thing, and I think this is the one that people are most angry about. I mean, the thing about the dishes, I mean, it's just, we're all so aware. It's like, yes, they're going to have a lot of bugs. That's just CG. That's their thing. It's like, you know, sometimes you have like a kid who's really smart and he can just do like crazy math in his head. This time it's like having a crazy uncle who just, well, never mind, guys. Let's just move on. I love my uncles, I promise. Now, here's the thing, guys. This happens on all the different legendary events. And, okay, so I put out a video a while ago, and I said, should we go for Cal or Leviathan? Because there was a lot of questions, like, a lot of people are like, well, I only have resources for one, which one should I go for first? And I actually said in the conclusion that Cal might be the better choice because you might not need Leviathan, which insinuates in reality, like, what I was trying to communicate, and I think I did, I said, I think the other ships are just going to beat Leviathan. Like, I think it's just going to be a continuation of what the other capital ships are. And most people, I mean, some people agreed with me. I'll, like, you know, it's not just a clone of a community. Not everyone's angry or whatever. But I got a lot of people who were like, nah, man, Leviathan's going to be unassailable. We're going to have this amazing capital ship. It's going to be the next level of power. Like, we have Executor and we have Profundity, and they were the next levels of power, but then the third one for some reason is going to be the next level, and Profundity and Executor won't beat it, really. And I just found it very difficult to believe that, especially for how difficult Leviathan was going to be. Like, you can't even really spend money to get Leviathan right now. If you don't have Malgus or Fury, you can do it to some degree, but it's not something you can just instantly purchase, especially because Malgus is in Proving Grounds now. It's just tough to get his shards, and so you know, I'm like, well, Cal is maybe better because he's going to make a huge impact in squads. Whether or not that's actually true is beside the point. Like, I expected this because I don't think, I think I had just had a different level of perceived level of how powerful something is. Now, look at the thing behind me. I'm not going to take the time for everyone to read, but you can take a screenshot or just pause it. But you can see my friend's Solo Base 15. He's my co-host on the Gambit podcast. You can find links to that in the video description, of course. But he posted this in, what, 2019? Something like that. Like, it was like 4 years ago. And it was for our guild at the time, way back when we used to be in a different guild, and we were in that guild running it together, and it was like, there's just every legendary, people go through this cycle of like, oh my gosh, this thing looks too broken, it's too good. And then they play it and they're like, oh my gosh, this thing is not good, it sucks, it's so bad. Why is this so awful? I hate it so much that it's so awful. And then slowly the community tests and over time figures out how to make the character, you know, that we put it in the place that it's going to live. And, you know, for better or worse, that's just kind of the trend of how things work. And so, you know, he's got this post. It's from 4 years ago. It was the same back then as it is now. I remember when Jabba first came out, guys, and people were like, dude, he dies to everything. He is awful. I had so many people tell me that. Oh my gosh, Jabba, terrible. And he's like one of the best characters, one of the best galactic legends. He's amazing. There's a ton of characters like that. And the community as a whole, like, we kind of just have a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, I have a knee-jerk reaction about him too. This is just the cycle we go through, guys. And honestly, I get the frustration and anger. I mean, like, it's disappointing, right? If you have it built in your mind that it's going to be this transcendent fleet, and you're just going to sit on the #1 place in your ship arena for weeks or months, maybe even years, maybe you'll just be there forever and you'll never have to climb in fleet again. And then it's just dashed because it looks like it's going to be a pretty bad fleet on defense. I mean, it does initially look like that, especially because of some of the bugs that are going on. But it is disappointing. Like, you think it's going to be one thing and it's another thing. I mean, that's how it is with a lot of things. Setting expectations is a huge part of you know, the human, I don't know, condition. That makes sound extreme. It's just like it's also like, hey, a lot of people spent a couple $100 on this to scramble for it, and now they're not getting what they think they paid for. That's a frustrating thing to manage, guys. It's just how it is for these things. So what should we do? This is the same advice I give almost every time whenever the community is really frustrated with a thing. People told me definitively. I could take so many screenshots, and I've decided not to. Decided to just say, I've had a lot of people tell me that this is not going to be a good fleet, and that it will never be good, and we've already tested it, and the community hasn't found anything, and I was like, dude, it's been around for 6 hours. It's been here for 7 hours. Like, the whole community just tested it and decided that it's awful. Like, I haven't even played it. At that point, people were telling me, I'm like, I haven't played it yet. Not that I'm like this transcendent tester, like discoverer of comps and truth, but it's still, I mean, maybe we could just be patient. I don't know. Like, what does it cost us at this point? Like, CG's gonna fix their bugs. The community is going to find better compositions. Like, I know a lot of the people I talked to, I was like, dude, okay, so have you tried, like, Darth Vader's ship with it? Have you tried Emperor's shuttle with it? And there were, like, a couple of them were like, oh, no, I just used the characters, the fleets, or the ships that were used to unlock. And I'm like, well, I don't blame you for that, but, like, how can you tell me definitively that this is just, that this is the way it's gonna be? Like, I don't want to rain on people's parade. I wish I could validate, like, all the things. I wish I could just have this righteous anger, because I mean, those videos get a ton of clicks. I'm gonna get a lot of people who are like, you're talking down to me, and I'm not. I'm not trying to, guys. This is a pretty common thing, and I think that once we move past, like, the frustration side of it, we could probably really enjoy this fleet. There's a lot of cool stuff here. In fact, why don't we go and take a look at this, guys? Let's look at this stuff. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do 7-star Profundity, or Executor, whatever it's called, Leviathan versus Profundity. I'm gonna put the footage, I'll put links to footage in the video description. So I tested for probably 2 hours tonight, refreshing. I climbed in Fleet Arena. You guys can see all the different things. I think I have like 4 or 5 videos. I'll label it clearly in the video description. I'll show you guys one of the fights, and then you guys can move along your merry way and be content. Tell you what, I'm not even going to show you the 7-star, and I'll show you the Executor fights that I did, even though I do have those. I'm going to show you the 5-star, climbing against a top-level, really strong Profundity, and I'll show you how it works. It's a little more risky. Like 7-star, you can pretty consistently win if you do the same chain of things. And eventually I'll put a guide out, though I don't know exactly. Like, this is all just testing, so go watch the testing videos if you want. There won't be any sound to them, there won't be any ads. You guys can just watch for a couple hours if you so desire. Like I said, linked in the video description, but you can see, so the first part of the fight is just staying alive, and then a big part of it that I realized initially, I was like, oh hey, let's destroy the next ship that comes in, but at 5 stars you don't get that. You don't get to destroy the next ship that comes in. That's a 7-star reinforcement ability. So you want to slow the ship down, because the biggest threat, guys, is the Profundity outracing you to destroy your ship, to send the Tantive 4 off to destroy you. You want to take over their ship before that happens. So you want to slow their ship down. You get the shuttle in right away after the initial 3. And the shuttle really helps all that with the protection up. It helps with how well you can survive. And then a well-timed burst of attacks from the Fury can take down a lot of the tanks and stuff. So, pretty good stuff. But now we're just waiting. If we can take down like the one ad that comes to join them, initially that's going to help a lot. And then we're going to get the Mark 6, and you can immediately just destroy that Y-Wing. The Y-Wing is the enemy of the people, guys. It's probably the thing that frustrates people the most, to be honest. Now, one thing that I will point out is that my Sith Bomber, my B-28, is only Relic 3, my Marauder is, because I never unlocked Sith Eternal on this account. Like, my Marauder just happens to be Relic 3, but it's not like I've been trying to. So, anyways, we got this, guys. We totally have this. I mean, at this point, yeah, okay, take over the Profundity. And I think my success rate here, honestly, if we're just being like totally transparent here, I'm not saying this is 100%. I think that it's somewhere around 100% with 7 stars. As you guys can see, we'll be able to see in the guide that I'll have the footage. Tell you what, guys, one sec. Alright guys, I'm all over the place. I'm going to show you my 7-star as well. So, 7-star, you have access to a lot more stuff. So this is a top-end fleet, all the different relic levels on Profundity and Team, so you slow down this thing. And I just want to show you guys, like, this is pretty consistent. Honestly, it's very consistent, in fact. If you do it the right way. I tested a lot of different comps and stuff, so if you guys see my testing, like, obviously it's not gonna all be amazing, and I think I got a couple like micro sleeps in there too, so there might be some annoying pauses, but you can see, so you want to bring the shuttle in first if you can. Like, it just makes everyone resilient, you can heal everyone gets that protection up, and you just can't kill that Marauder. Like, I think that, yeah, there's not really much need to make Marauder. I guess against Executor, it'd be nice to have a Relic 8 or Relic 9 Marauder, probably. Against Profundity, they just don't do enough damage, really, to threaten your B-28 with all the different stuff you have. So, there you go. Okay, so killed the Y-Wing. Like, the Y-Wing, like I said, is the enemy of the people. And it's frustrating, but you can deal with it. And then, yeah, you're just playing the short game guy. Like, so you don't want to do AoEs with your characters as someone does an AoE. Like, once you get the Mark 6 in, then it's every man for himself. But you can see how crazy consistent this is, right? I mean, because we're outspeeding them because we have 7 stars, because we're reducing cooldowns, we're doing all this cool stuff. Like, we just. At 7-star, this wins really consistently, and so like 5 stars, yeah, a little disappointing against 7 stars. Against other 5 stars, probably just fine. So, anyways, guys, I guess the final point that I want to make here is, at 7 stars, yes, it can take a little bit of time, but it's very consistent against Executor comps and against Profundity comps. I didn't test against anything else. I didn't test the Mirror. I didn't test against Negotiator, etc. But I did test Radis against Leviathan at 7-star. And Radis does not beat Leviathan, by the way. Does not beat 7-star Leviathan. 7-star Radis, not beat Leviathan. Like, not at least in the testing that I did. I'll put the link to that in the video description as well. But, keep in mind, guys, like, you get Leviathan and you instantly expect you have to win with a 5-star versus a 7-star. Like, I think it should be a little bit of a challenge if you're going to do that. If you're going to take a team that's, like, not even complete, you don't have all of your abilities, and yet you expect to instantaneously defeat a fleet that's, like, stronger than yours objectively. Just like, yeah, look at all of these look at all these relic levels. Look at the star level, like the star. So, I don't know. Just temper expectations a little, maybe, guys. That's all. It works. This fleet works. It takes a long time. I hope it gets some bug fixed. Maybe CG will also give us a buff of some sort. Remember, CG also doesn't nerf, so keep that in mind either. At least not frequently. Guys, I gotta go. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails.